Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Last week, we talked about Pro Football Network and how they put out their efficiency projections for this coming season. And they projected the Saints' offense to actually be worse this year than they were last year. And so we kind of went through it, and I flatly disagreed. The weird part about it was, the Saints offensively a year ago, we went position by position, and the three of us in here, me and Musso and Paul, went position by position at what the Saints had at the end of last year relative to what they'll have at the beginning of this season. And literally every position offensively, the Saints are better now than they were offensively at the end of last season. Now, beginning of last season, it was different, right? I mean, we were all excited about Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry and Chris Olave. The receivers, Jameis was the starter and coming back healthy, and you had drafted Trevor Penning, and we were all very excited at the beginning of last season. Then injury sort of overtook that team, and we know kind of how they finished. So I actually thought, because of how they finished, that projecting this year they'd be better than how they finished last year. Defensively, what's interesting is that the Saints started slowly last year and got better as the season went along, yet the Pro Football Network defensive efficiency projections have the Saints actually getting worse this year as well. And this one I actually kind of do understand. So if you're scoring at home, the Saints last year finished 10th in these defensive efficiency rankings. The projection for them in 2023 has them dropping to 14, one spot behind the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending champion. They mentioned adding Brian Brzee and Isaiah Foskey, but losing Davenport, Onyemata, Ellis, Tuttle, all that stuff. And then how do you really project for guys like Adebo and Roby, some guys who've been really good secondary players, but, how good will they be this year? So all of that is sort of in the description. When I look back, though, this one does make more sense to me. Remember, at the beginning of the year last year, the Saints go to London, they play Minnesota, and they allow 28 points, but, they allowed Cousins to throw all over and rally late. And then they play Seattle at home, and they win that game, but they give up 32 points. And then they play Cincinnati at home, and they lose, and they allow Burrow to have the late scoring drive, and they give up 30. Then they go play on Thursday night against Arizona, and Arizona scored 42. And yeah, they had a couple of pick sixes, but even in spite of that, Andy Dalton struggles. That Arizona offense really was humming against them. And then they started to figure it out. They shut out the Raiders. They lost to Baltimore, but then just allowed 10 points at Pittsburgh, 20 points to the Rams. They lost to San Fran, but that was a 13-0 game. They got shut out, but only gave up 13 points. They lost to Tampa 17-16. That's where they gagged away the late lead. But the point is, defensively, they started getting much better as the season went along. But at the end of the season, this is the part that's pretty obvious that you can't ignore. Your top two tacklers from a year ago, Demario Davis and Tyrann Mathieu, are both a year older. Demario's 34, Tyrann's 31. You lost your top three defensive tackles. Shai Tuttle, David Onyemata, Kentavious Street were your top three defensive tackles a year ago. They're all gone. You lost Caden Ellis, who was second on your team in sacks with 7 behind only Cam Jordan. So you lost a ton of production. And then on top of that, you're counting on Brian Brzee and Isaiah Foskey to have really big rookie years. Are they capable? Absolutely. But if you're looking at a defensive efficiency projection, how do you project realistically a rookie to have a certain type of season, replacing veteran players who you knew what you were going to get out of them, provided they stayed healthy, and those guys had? I would tell you the other thing, too, that's a gigantic question mark is, can you stay healthy at linebacker and defensive back? Consider this, y'all. Just looking at defensive back. A year ago, Marshawn Lattimore played 7 games, so he missed 10. Adebo played 13 games, he missed 4. Alontae Taylor missed 4 games. Bradley Roby missed 4 games. P.J. Williams missed 6 games. Marcus May missed 7 games. just in guys that were key contributors in your secondary, just your secondary, missed 10, 4, 4, 4, 6, 7 games. I mean, it's 35 combined games missed by Lattimore, Adebo, Taylor, Roby, Williams, and May. So, can you stay healthy? I don't know. I hope so. And if you do, you're obviously better. It's a giant question mark when you're trying to project for this team. And then Pete Werner at linebacker missed 5. I mean, DeMario Davis is magnificent. We know that. But he's getting older, and you wonder at how long he will continue to play at the level that he isn't showing any signs of slowing down. But, Werner's been a guy you're counting on next to DeMario Davis, especially in losing Caden Ellis. But Werner missed 5 games last year, and he's had trouble being durable in his career. So I don't understand the offensive efficiency projecting the Saints to be 22nd in the league, dropping from a year ago. I can understand the questions about the defense because of your personnel losses, aging veterans, how much you're going to count on rookies as well, and some of the questions that need to be answered. Can you stay healthy? If Davis and Matthew continue playing at a high level, great. If you stay healthy, great. If Foskey and Brzee have great seasons, awesome. You can be a really good defense. You can be a top 10 defense. It's a lot of ifs, though. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.